Hello, welcome back. Week 10, rival recap show, talking Gentlemen's Club football all day, all the time. Jam-packed episode, multiple stat requests. We might even have some unsafe space at the end of this episode, or it might come out as a separate video. TBD. Y'all let me know, because you'll be the ones watching. Without further ado, the anomaly continues with the long 20. 2 weeks in a row. The loser of the long 20 is the winner of the long 20. Mr. Ortiz, the other half of the Latin Bowl. David Montgomery's 75-yard touchdown run. That accounted for 13 and a half of Ortiz's 69 points. Disgusting stuff. Venmo yourself if you want to make yourself feel any better. But yeah, 69 is miserable. We'll talk more about Ortiz's team when we get to his matchup. But guys, stat requests. We will start with Mr. Ian Jones had a stat request. He wanted to know, has there ever been a Gentlemen's Club team that has put up over 100 points every week of the regular season? Why would he ask such a thing? Well, because Ian Jones, through 10 weeks, has put up over 100 points every single week. So naturally, he wants to know if he's cementing himself in history or where this season may fall. Ian Jones is not the only one in 2023 that has accomplished this feat. Tony Marullo is on pace to do the same. He has 10 weeks, all over 100 points. The Steens, 9 out of 10. Ooh, who would have thought that, huh? You guys are always ripping on them Steens. 9 out of 10 weeks, so that doesn't mean shit. So when has this been done, right? 2016, Kevin Lamb did this. Kevin Lamb, I think, was the 4 or 5 seed that year when only 6 teams made the playoffs. So his team wasn't overly excellent, but clearly he was pretty damn good all year. Happened again twice in 2018. Joe Narduli did it and Christian Borelli did it. One thing you might not remember about that 2018 season, Christian Borelli missed the playoffs and still did that. It's like someone needs to make like a 10 for 10 about that whole fucking season, right? 2020, James Ortiz, most points on the season, accomplished that feat. That is it. It has only happened 4 times. It has the potential to happen 2 more times this season. I'm sorry. It's happened 5 times. Ian, you've done it. 2019, I was right next to your name, so that's why I didn't see it as a separate thing. Ian Jones, the year he had CMC, Dalvin Cook, Patrick Mahomes, lost in the championship. You did it. So maybe you want to lose in the championship again? 2 honorable mentions. Christian Borelli in 2021 could have done it twice. He had a 99.58 point week. And Joe Narduli, honorable mention in 2022, he had a 98.08 point week to go with every other week being over 100. So, interesting little stat request, Mr. Jones. I will say no one on this list won the championship the year that happened. So, if you're going to try and accomplish this, you'd be the first person to do that. Second stat request. John Rass wants to know about the Mendoza line for the season. I was supposed to do it last week. I was in California, missed some things in last week's episode due to that. So, I decided to do it this week. And you know what? This week, it was week 10. After week 10 weeks, that makes everything a little bit fucking easier when dividing everything by 10, right? So the Mendoza 112.6 is the Mendoza line, or 1,126 points on the season. Interestingly enough, there are 7 men above the line. There are 7 men below the line. Wow. No one's skewing it too hard one way or the other, apparently. Enough parity in the league. So 112.6 is the line to decide if you've had a good or bad week. Are you above or below the Mendoza? Last thing I wanted to look at, the standings, guys, the standings, okay? We have an 8-2 team. We have 4 7-3 teams, and we have a 6-4 team named Mr. Rast. The Steens currently occupy the top spot, sitting at 8-2. Holy shit, Brian hasn't been in that spot since 2016 when he was 8-2 in the top spot. And that's some new territory for the Steens. But one thing I can say, we may hold the top spot, but it is nothing. It is anything but secure with the men breathing down my neck. And I also thought it was crazy that there were 5 teams over 7 wins through 10 weeks. That has never happened before. The most we ever had was 3. 2022, 3. 2021, 3. 2022, 19, 3. 18, 3. 17, 3. 16, 2. But in 2023, we have 5 teams. I mean, yes, we've never had an 0-10 team. So, there's a couple more wins to give out when that's happening, right? But pretty crazy that how many fucking great records there are at the top. Last thing I will say before I get into the matchups, no one has officially clinched the playoffs yet. However, a couple of us got to be feeling pretty fucking good about it. But however, Lynch has officially been eliminated from playoff contention. Shocker. So that man's just looking at week 15 as his only must win. I talked to him a little bit about potentially making a trade this upcoming week because he's got, all his running backs are on bye or whatever. And he's got one who's only Miles Sanders, is only fucking running back playing this week. But he was just like, I'd rather lose this week. And Lynch, I get it. You know what I mean? There's no reason to move any players because you've actually put together a decent little starting lineup when healthy / not on bye. Mr. Lynch has, while acquired through trade, 2 of the 3, Lynch has 3 receivers ranked 14 or better, okay? In theory, it would be great if, everyone had at least one of those guys, right? Because then we all have a wide receiver 1. Lynch now has 3 of them, and he's an 0-10 last place. So maybe this back little stretch, these last 4 games, he can turn it around a little bit and just not lose the toilet bowl, and Ortiz will lose it like we're all expecting. And without further ado, the matchups, I guess we'll have to go fucking quick. I got some notes on some of these I want to say, so we will keep moving. But the Steens, 169-117 over the Tokyo Knights, a playoff rematch from a year ago, and the Steens were not fucking around this time. What Aaron Rodgers did to us on Monday Night Football last year cannot be forgotten. What Dalvin Cook did to us while we were watching in Mike Weston's apartment and he was jumping up and down like a little girl cannot be forgotten, okay? We were back for vengeance. Yes, it was only a regular season revenge, but happy nonetheless. Didn't know if we had 169 in us, but clearly we do. And Dak and fucking CeeDee Lamb combined for 76 points, so that's pretty awesome. Kittle, McBride, 20 points apiece. Whoa, 2 tight ends getting 20 plus. Pretty nice. Not even a lot out of the defense kicker, but it was certainly plenty to beat Weston and be the top scorer on the week. Little tidbit about Weston's team, excluding last week because Devontae Smith was on bye. If Devontae Smith scores over 10 points, Weston has put up over 100. When he is under 10 points, Weston is under 100 points. So Weston was saved last week from that just absurd, probably useless stat because he was on bye, and Weston put up 117. But I don't know. Something to think about. I have improved my record against Weston to 2-5. Weston has owned me historically, but I am happy to walk one back, 1 win at a time. Next matchup. We got, oh no, this is out of fucking order as my list. Eric playing the Lot Lizards. 111-106. Eric taking down Ian. Ian has lost 3 out of his last 4 games. He's slipping a little bit. He's got no quarterback. His receivers are still ass, and he had some buys with his running back. So yes, he's through to that, I believe. He was at full force with his running backs last week. He even got a 30 bomb out of Hawkinson, and his team puts up 106. No quarterback, ass receivers. Could be a tumbling fall for Mr. Jones from grace after he was certainly one of the top teams the first half. Interesting to look at him for the next couple games. Eric Olson gets a much needed win. I forget what the exact amount he was needed out of Kincaid. I'm assuming it was about 11 because it was 11 or 12 points, right? He got 16. Eric made that trade to trade with Kelsey. He gets, Kincaid and Lamar back. Lamar has put up, 13, 11, and 11 or something over the last 3 weeks. So Eric really needs that to turn around to start really feeling good about that trade. But Kincaid put him over the line this week to keep his season alive. Because I think if you're sitting at 2-8, you're probably effectively eliminated, right? 3-7 though. We'll talk about Sklar later. Another guy who accomplished this feat. Actually, we'll talk about Sklar in fucking 5 seconds. But 2 guys keeping their seasons alive. So good on you. Sklar, 118. To 69. You know what, Sklar? Your team needed a fucking confidence boost. Your team needed a fucking D3 school to come through the door like the Latin mooks and just kick the living shit out of them. All right. You had some buys last week, Spencer. I also want to apologize to you. I didn't even know you texted me. I must have been fucking sleeping or some shit in California. I was all fucking sleep schedule was a disaster last week. Don't know why I cannot click on the Esquires versus the Mooks. Please allow me to click on their matchup. Before I am able to fucking load that garbage, Eric improved his record against Jones to 6-2, so wanted to sneak that back in. Sorry, guys, we're facing some serious technical difficulties. I know Spencer had some good players, some good weeks. I believe. Oh, here we go. I believe. Oh my God. Kenneth Walker, Ayuk, Wilson, nice weeks. Jason Myers, 21 points out of your fucking kicker. Wow. Okay, you'll take that. Geno 24 filling in for Mahomes. Spencer was thinking about making a move because of his buys. Doesn't need to because he played Ortiz. Ortiz is a fucking wreck. I don't understand how you're flexing Jerry Jeudy going into the week, wide receiver 56 over Brian Robinson, running back 12. I probably look at these and think on these rankings more than most, but that one seems like a no fucking brainer. He goes with Jerry Jeudy, who puts up a whopping 6.5 points, to Brian Robinson's 27.7. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Brian Robinson was the top fantasy running back on the week. How Ortiz isn't just a lock to run 3 running backs, I don't know. But he gets through his Jalen Hurts bye, who's his only formidable player. And hopefully he goes back to him plus 3 running backs going forward, and he can fucking juggle his receivers in whatever way he wants because he'll never get it right. I digress on Ortiz. Next matchup, Rast versus Joe. Is this the matchup of the week? It might have been the matchup of the week. 112 to 102. Let's go, Rast. Your first win against Joe. Sorry. Spencer, you've improved your record against Ortiz to 5-4, taking the lead. But Rast gets his first win against Joe. 112 points, not even the best week, just below the Mendoza, John, for your week. So not even considered a good week per se. Josh Dobbs comes in, gives you 25 points while 2 is on bye. Derrick Henry only putting up 3. Not you don't love to see that. But Chase Bijan, the guy that Joe traded you, having 17.6. So you got to feel pretty good about that. Joe Narduli, a guy who likes to throw strays and rip this show at every turn. It's like I don't understand what the hate is, but other than the fact that I wouldn't trade with him because he accused me of whining and bitching on my show. I don't think those are tones I take. If I do, I'll do better. But I did not create a whole show to whine and bitch like someone else. So that's pretty interesting. And Joe, I just gotta, I don't get it. You know, I like so much hate coming from you. You hate in the group chat. Oh, John Rast is unsufferable. Oh, Spencer can't root for his players. Oh, Joe, the hall monitor of the fucking group chat. Like, one question for you, Joe. Where do you get off? Because I'm at a loss, and that's the last breath I'll spend on Narduli this week. John Rast, great fucking win, bud. Keeping that season going because you had dropped, I think, 3 straight. So you're good to get back in the win column against the guy who's pretty close to you in the standings. So that is cool. And as I said, John gets his first win against Joe, improves his record to 1-4. Next matchup, we have team. You've got the bug to the Jefferson Street Jets. I cannot believe my computer is still dogging me like this. 127 to 108. There we go. Excellent win. Tony, you improve your record against Sedano 3-5. 3-5. 127, good one. Jahmyr Gibbs continues to pop off. Kamara's great. Tank Dell getting 18.9. So Tony's put him up 127 when he had, Tyreek Hill on his bench. Ops to Tyreek Hill on bye, obviously, that's why he's on his bench. DJ Moore benched him, sat that guy down after some incredible weeks earlier in the season, and didn't quite turn out to be the right decision because if he had flexed over Engram, he would have got a couple more points. But hey, you know what? 127. Sedano, other side. Is Trevor Lawrence bad? Trevor Lawrence has not had a 20-point game this season. It's just John, Ian has to do something at quarterback because Ian lost 2 quarterbacks for the season, right? Does John have to do something at quarterback because his quarterback's just fucking bad? Maybe a couple guys with 2 quarterbacks out there, or 2, solid quarterbacks, might be looking to make a move with you, John or Ian. I don't know. But, if Lawrence puts up something decent, this is a whole different story, right? Because he put up 2 points. He puts up 20 points. John might win this matchup, right? Anyway, Tony takes you down. Next one, Kevin Lamb, the second highest scorer on the week, a man who's won, 5 straight? Are you kidding me, Kevin Lamb? And he had Travis Kelce on bye last week, and he's got him getting into this lineup. 149.6 to 101 for Amon. Oh, Amon. A win you probably really needed, but you're 4-6. You're still in the thick of it, but would have loved to be 5-5, obviously. But Kevin Lamb's team is an absolute fucking force. His first-round pick, Tony Pollard, is proven to be one of the, I don't want to call it worst players on his team, but kind of is. But the three-headed monster. Oh, no, he only had two of them going this week because he had A.J. Brown and fucking Kelsey on bye, and he still puts up 149. I don't know if I have much more to say or much more I can say to compliment Kevin Lamb. He's put up 139 or more in 3 of the last 4 weeks. So if there's someone that's hot, it's Kevin freaking Lamb. Other than Brock having a quality week for Charlie and Amon-Ra having 30.5, I don't have much more to say about a 101-point week. Last one, Yak United, 111, taking down Pay Dirt, 99. It does not stop for Lynch. It never will stop for Lynch. Kevin Lamb, you also improved your record to 3-5 against Charlie. And this matchup is now historically 4-4. Borelli and Lynch, one of the Boston Bulls, will get a good next year, or maybe they'll play each other in Week 14 this year. I'm sure Christian would like that. 4-6 Christian, absolutely not steamrolling Lynch, but Christian's kind of steaming the last few weeks. He's won 3 straight after being 1-6. Things look bad. He retooled the roster. Burrow and Mixon have been a major reason why his team was able to turn around. Noah Brown, 24 points, nice pickup there. And Christian a little below the Mendoza, but nonetheless, a good week. 111 to 92. Lynch just, nothing goes right. He's destined to lose. But you know what? I will say it'll be more interesting to see him when he's got Puka, Addison, and Devontae going. He's got 3 good receivers. Komet's proven to be a quality tight end. But he's just kind of running backs going next week. I think the only one on his roster, as I said, is Miles Sanders. So I don't expect him to make a move. I don't really see a reason to. I just wanted to feel it out by texting him earlier, see what the thought was. And the thought was what I expected. Probably not making a move. And that is the matchups. 0-10, Mr. Lynch. We're ending there. I don't have anything else to say. I've talked for way too fucking long. The stat requests, while I love them, certainly extend the episode. So, either have a beautiful night and enjoy Tony's video tomorrow, or I'm sending it over to Tony. Thank you.